Hi, this is Renata. Today I will be answering a listener's question regarding a targeting situation that she has found herself in. But before I do that, I'd like to say that I'd be glad to attempt to answer anyone's question if you would just send an email to me at remu2@hotmail.com. In the subject line, please put YouTube question. That way it'll flag it for me and I'll see that right away. Okay? I will need a little information. I'd like to know whether you are a male or female because sometimes I cannot tell by the screen names, and I'd like to address you accordingly, he or she. Okay? Also, I'd like a little description of what your particular targeting situation is. Meaning the question that you're asking me about. I would need a little detail, not much detail. You don't have to go into great detail, nothing long. Just give me a little overview. And the reason why I'd like to request that is because with that information, I can critique my response to you or to your situation. Okay? I will never give up your identity. I will never give up your name. So don't worry about that. But if say for instance a person says I'm having a hard time with targeting and can you do a video on it? If that's all I have to go off of, then I am left to assume what type of targeting you're referring to. Now, the problem with me assuming is that I may not address your particular situation. Therefore, it's a moot point to do the video because it won't really help you if I'm not addressing your situation, okay? So a little detail would be great. And I may even come back to you and ask you a couple of questions just for clarity, okay? But again, I will never disclose your identity. I'd just like to be able to say he or she, all right? Okay. So let's go into this person's question. So this person says that she had confided in a friend about her harassment, only to find out that the friend, who is a male, is involved in her targeting. And she says that it's a bad feeling. First of all, I'd like to say that I am so sorry that you're having this experience. This is a very common occurrence in the targeted individual community. So I am very glad that you brought this question up because this has and will happen to many targeted individuals. Okay, it's just part of the protocol. And it's a very unpleasant experience when you have put your trust in someone and they turn on you like this. Calling someone a friend is not a term to be taken lightly, especially when you're targeted, because most targets don't have very many friends. Okay, maybe they once did, but because of the targeting, as we're talking about here today, many people turn on targets. Okay. So I don't know how close you were with this person, but let's just say you hung out with this person. You guys visited each other's homes. And apparently you opened up to him about personal things, maybe more than once. So you trusted him enough to share your targeting experience with him. So again, I'm very sorry that this person, turned on you this way. This is someone who you considered a friend and you confided in. And unfortunately, this is how he has done you, and that's a bad feeling. That's a very bad feeling. So what you're describing here is betrayal. You confided in this person totally betrayed you. So I want to read a scripture. A couple of scriptures, actually. This is Matthew 26:19 through 23 in the King James Version. As the disciples did as Jesus had appointed them, and they made ready the Passover. Now when the even was come, he sat down with the 12. And as they did eat, he said, Verily I say unto you, that one of you shall betray me. And they were exceedingly sorrowful, and began every one of them to say unto him, Lord, is it I? And he answered and said, He that dippeth his hand with me in the dish, the same shall betray me. Okay, so again, that was Matthew 26, verses 19 through 23. So what that scripture means is that Jesus knew that someone in his circle would betray him. These were people who he traveled with all across the land, ministering to people. These were people in his circle. These are people that he trusted. Yet he knew that someone in his circle would betray him. He said, one who dips his hand in the same dish with me. Okay, so these are people that's close to you. People that you trust, people that you break bread with, people that you share laughter with, people that you share memories with. This is the same thing that most TIs will experience. Okay, is betrayal. People right there, people who know you well, people who you laugh with. Okay, it happened to Jesus. And it's happening to us. So what I'd like to do is extend this video response not only to the person who requested it being betrayed by friends, but also this video response will apply to people who are betrayed by their family members, as well as friends, neighbors, co-workers, close acquaintances, you know. It happens a lot in this community. A lot. Okay, so talking about targeting is one of the hardest things. The hardest things that a TI does. Because we run the risk of family, friends, and loved ones thinking that we're mentally ill if we talk about it. And this program, as you know, is designed that way. Is to discourage you from talking about your targeting experience. So when you finally get up the nerves to talk about it and you're betrayed by a person such as the lady who asked this question, you know, only to further realize that this person is involved in her targeting, it really hurts. And it is designed, in my opinion, to condition you that you can't trust anyone. But there are people that are trustworthy. They're just far and few in between because, as you see, these people obviously got to this person. And that's what happens a lot in the TI community. So it helps to understand the intentions of this program. The intentions is to destroy all forms of support for the targeted person. That means family, friends, co-workers, neighbors, professional affiliations, you name it. They want to destroy your social status. That's one of the first things they come after is your social status in the community. So that people will not, deal with you. Okay. And furthermore, a target can be taken down much better and faster if you don't have any form of support. Okay, so they don't want that person to be your friend. Anyone who continues to support the target, either morally or financially, or any sympathizers, anybody who sympathizes with the target, and they cannot get these people to not support you, or these people to continue to sympathize with you or continue to deal with you, then they run the risk themselves of being targeted. And honestly, a lot of people are not willing to take that risk. Okay? So, obviously, it sounds like this person has been contacted by someone to betray you, or maybe the person was sent to you from the very beginning. I'm not sure because I don't know how long you've known that person or how close you were to that person, but obviously you were pretty close to him. Okay? But it sounds like you obviously were investing more into the friendship than he was, okay? You felt that he was the safest person in the world to share this horrible experience with. And look how he did you. You know, that's not a friend, in my opinion. That's a foe, a dangerous foe at that. So we can never really underestimate these people. Okay, these people who you share history with, you share your memories with. At one time you trusted them. In my opinion, if the people who you were extremely close with, meaning family and people who you really consider to be true friends, if they turn on you, in my opinion, that's more dangerous than if a perpetrator off the streets targets you and turn on you. Because if any old person can contact somebody and say, you know, Jane Doe did this or did that, or is under investigation, or, you know, is a wanted person, or is mentally ill, if they can get someone close to you to believe that and to betray you that easy, this person who you called friend, I'm assuming you were friends before the targeting, but I'm not sure because you didn't specify that. But if they can get, you know, family members and friends who knew you for X amount of time, knew you very well, family all your life, then that's very scary. That's scarier to me for a person who you've known and that's close to you to turn on you than it is for the perpetrators. Because the perpetrators don't know you. They don't have any loyalty to you whatsoever. You're just a job. You know, it's a job for them. I can see the perpetrators not caring about whether or not they target you because you're a total stranger. But your friends and family who betray you should have some measure of loyalty to you. No one should just be able to come up to them and say you did this or you're in trouble for that without them asking, without them coming to you and saying, this is what I heard. Even if they don't want to go into details, they should ask. They've known you all your life. They know your character. They know pretty much what you would do and what you would not do and what's out of character for you. So for them to just go along with the targeting of their loved one, that's not acceptable. That's something I'm sure you wouldn't do to them. Whether it be a friend or a family member, I'm sure you would not do that to them. So that makes it hurt even more when they do it to you, because you know that you would never do that to them. So not only did your friend not come to you with this obvious information that he had, but he took it a step further and he became involved. And that's not okay. So with all that being said, there is something else that we need to consider here. And that is the fact that because TIs have been overly sensitized to so many things and have learned not to be very trusting of others, we need to just make sure that there is no doubt that this person is actually involved in your targeting. Okay? Not saying that you're just being paranoid or whatever, but I know that that can happen because TIs learn not to trust people. So just double, make double sure that the person really is not involved, really is involved in your targeting. Because you don't want to remove someone from your life and they're not involved in it. But I'm sure that you know all the signs because you know how you're targeted. So I'm sure that you are sure that this person is involved, but I just want to bring that to your attention because that happens as well, is that sometimes we as TIs may push people away because we think that they're involved. Because one thing about the targeting is that just about everything that they do in the targeting is something that is very close to reality. Like, these things really happen. People really walk their dogs, but there are a lot of stalker dog walkers, okay? People really honk their horns, but that may be one of the ways you get targeted, where people honk their horns all the time, or people may say a certain thing, but these things are really said in real life. So this targeting emulates real life very closely. So that's why I'm saying just be double sure before you remove anyone from your life. Not just this person, but anyone. Okay? So, some things that you can do is that, number one, take this opportunity to get closer with the Lord. Okay? The Lord said He would stick to us closer than a brother. So I know that this is a very hurting experience that you're going through, but just lean on the Lord a little more if you haven't already done that, okay? Also, acknowledge your feelings. It hurts. It hurts. For people to turn their backs on you, it hurts. Especially when you consider all the people who I'm sure have already turned. You feel like you can't trust anyone. That's not a good feeling. So acknowledge that and accept it. This is reality. Prayerfully, you will meet other nice people. Don't close the door to other friendships or relationships. So just accept it. This is what's happening with this particular person. That doesn't mean that this is what's happening all the way around with everyone that you will come in contact with, but this is what's happening with this particular person. Okay? Get a thorough understanding of the targeted individual program, because betrayal is a huge part of it. A huge part of the targeting is betrayal. People turn their backs on TIs all the time. Most TIs will tell you this. Okay? Also, decide how you will deal with this person if you should happen to come in contact with them again. Because your paths just may cross again in public, or in the case of a family member, your path may cross at family functions, or while you're visiting another relative. Okay, so just decide on how you're going to deal with this person in the future. This person may become a trigger for you. Okay, depending on how it all went down. I don't know how. I don't know, the details of what exactly brought this to your attention that this person is involved, but situations like this can easily become a trigger for you. Okay, so just decide in advance how you'll deal with this person. I do know one thing, that you can't make yourself available for any type of abuse from anyone, from this person or anyone else, not psychological abuse or otherwise. So if you are 100% sure that this person is involved or anyone else, you may want to make sure you don't deal with this person, because they really can do harm. Okay? Release all anger. Give it to God. All resentment, give it to God. Because those negative emotions, they work against you. They don't work for you. So you don't need to hold on to it. It is what it is. Thank God that He revealed to you that this person was involved. Because had the targeting gone on longer, the situation would be worse. So thank the Lord. Okay? Involve yourself in meaningful activities. Use your time to do good for this world, because this world is hurting right now. Okay, so get yourself involved in something that's meaningful for you. It will also help you to take your mind off of this situation. Try to meet other people that you have something in common with, or that you feel that you can trust. I'm sure you will be proceeding with caution, when you meet new people. So it's a good idea to ask around. Ask around the TI community if they are targeted individuals. If you meet people that are not targeted individuals, maybe, you may know someone who knows them. So ask around. But don't totally block yourself off from new meaningful friendships and relationships. Okay, so again, I'll say if you're 100% sure that this person is involved in your targeting, then again, I say thank God for allowing you to see him for who he really is, and run in the opposite direction. If you're 100% sure, you don't want to deal with them at all. You shouldn't want to. Because if you do, then you're just opening yourself up for more targeting and more abuse. Because one thing that I know is that once these people are involved, there's really no going back for them. They don't usually go back in the other direction. They continue with the targeting. So it would be dangerous to keep yourself in that person's path. There's a saying that says, when a person shows you who they are, believe them. Now, he's shown you, according to you, he has shown you that he's involved in your targeting, okay? So believe him. Don't think that you can compromise with these people, that you can reason with them, that you can explain your story. He's a perpetrator, so believe him. And it's hard. It's a hard thing to accept. I myself have gone through this many times with friends and family members, many times. And it's hurting. It's very hurting. One particular person I had a really hard time with because I believed the person that I had come to know over the years, which was a kind person, a funny person, a person who I had things in common with, only to find out that this person was involved in my targeting, probably from the beginning when I think about it. But I had those fake images in my mind of the way the person presented themselves. So I had a hard time accepting it and letting go. Because I kept trying to convince myself, no, this person is this kind of person. Because that's the person that was presented to me. And that fake person was presented to me for a long time, for years. But eventually, the real person came out. And that's when I had a hard time. I had a really hard time. But I knew I had to let go. Because none of it was real. And when you don't let go, then you're in denial. And denial can be very dangerous for you. Because you're holding on to something that's not even real. Okay? So I say, don't hold any resentment. Don't hold any bitterness, any anger, because all that works against you. Forgive, because forgiveness is for yourself. It's not for the other person. It's so that you won't walk around carrying a heavy burden. Give it to the Lord. And most importantly, continue being the good person that you are. Don't let this experience affect you in a negative manner to where you're walking around bitter and angry at the world. Put your energy where your energy will be appreciated and respected. You have peace in knowing that you were a true friend and had good intentions with this person. You were a real friend to him. It was him that betrayed you. So again, as the saying goes, when a person shows you who they are, believe him. He showed you. So I say keep it moving. Keep it moving. Experience the hurt, experience the pain. You'll get past it. And you'll be okay. Okay, so I hope this video has helped. God bless and stay strong.